Hello and welcome to another episode of the Not For Nothing podcast. Again, we're 3 episodes deep into season 3. Loving it, life, living it up. We're back. I wanted to talk a little bit about unwritten laws.
Yeah.
There's one specifically that I've been thinking about a lot. Now that I'm a legal driver.
But have you driven?
We'll talk about that later. So I wanted to talk about unwritten laws and how everybody says, like, oh, you know, if you want to speed, just go in the left lane.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what does that mean?
And,
That's not a rule.
And what is the this whole gray area of, like, legal speeding?
Right.
Is, like, how do people know about this stuff?
Right.
Who told you?
Like, oh, if you're going to speed, make sure it's just because you're going with traffic. With the flow of traffic.
Okay, so I already had my license before moving to LA, but I had never really driven. So I took driving classes, and the guy was like, just so you know, in LA, it's like almost mandatory to go 5 above the speed limit.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Right.
Hey, that's illegal. And then he was like, no, you don't get tickets for that. And, like, it's expected if you see 35, you should be going 40 or people are going to get mad at you.
No.
I'm like, how do you know this?
And I love how you kind of can't get in trouble. There's like a 5 miles, even in New York, 5 mile per hour, like, leeway that they give you.
But, like, so then why is it
So if you're going 6, then they'll ticket you?
And also then why isn't the speed limit? It's so confusing.
It
and
really
on the
is.
highway, I never, as I've been doing, like, the DC, New York drive, the first time I was, like, following all the speed limits. And then I discovered that, like, yeah, you could be going 75 or 80.
I mean, I've seen it happen in New York. I've seen that be going with the flow of traffic.
And then that's what I was saying to myself. Like, I literally have to be going faster because these cars are so mad at me.
Right. Exactly. And then, exactly. If you're the one that's not going that fast and there's a group ahead of you, the people behind you are pissed.
And then that's when people start getting aggressive.
Exactly.
And so now I have, like, funny bumper stickers on my car because I feel like it gives...
You do?
Yeah, I finally put some on.
What do they say?
Alyssa got me one that says Bagels on board.
Oh my God.
But it's like the baby sign.
I love that.
So that one's, I feel like it gives a little quirk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one I have is Ava's dad started making these, like, magnets of the American flag that say I vote for democracy, which, like, has kind of this, like, is she Republican, is she a Democrat, like, this flag, the democracy.
I guess
you know,
so.
It feels like a little, like, angsty, but you don't know which direction. So I feel like that also gives a little edge.
Okay.
Like, she votes for democracy. She likes the flag.
Right.
But then there's the Bagels on board.
I think
so
the Bagels, like, on board clarifies
and
what
so
the
you're
magnet
just like,
means.
oh, where are we going with this? Mixed bag going on. And all they need to know is don't mess with this girl because there's a lot going on there.
Don't mess with this girl. There's precious cargo in the car. You
Exactly.
can't hit her. You can't hit her.
Like, she doesn't know what she's doing.
No, you can't hit her. You might damage the bagels.
But yeah, those are the other one I want to get is the Hotties Hit Curbs.
Oh, I love that.
But that'll be for my next car.
Okay. Why? You're not hitting the curb in this one?
No, because I'm getting a new car in November.
Oh,
like,
do you know what kind?
Like the same one, just
upgraded.
Well, it's because my lease is up.
Do you know that they're targeting Hondas right now? Thieves.
Okay, that's what you said,
Mm-hmm.
but they're targeting Kias and Hyundais.
No, Kias were the old sitch.
Yeah, I haven't heard about the Hondas.
Yeah, like Kia boys, way old news.
Yeah. But I've seen Hyundais?
Hyundai.
Hyundai? I never know how you pronounce this brand.
I've seen hentai.
But that brand, the one that sounds like Honda but is not.
Hyundai.
Yeah, I've seen them get targeted. I didn't know about Hondas.
I never heard of Hyundais getting targeted. I heard of Hondas and Toyotas lately.
Wow.
Bay Ridge, hot spot. They are coming in hot. They're coming in hot and taking those Hondas right off the road. I mean, people are looking on their app and being like, why is my car in Astoria? I parked it outside of the house last night. That's crazy. Why is my car in the Bronx? Like, these are, like, legit things that have happened to people in the community. I've seen.
That's why I don't park in the street. Like, I have a garage in my house.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, for that reason. Because in DC, it's, like, there's so much car theft.
Yeah, that's, like, a not South Brooklyn luxury. There are, like, new
No, yeah, that's like why
garages.
I chose that building.
Yeah.
Was like because I knew there would be times where I would like leave for a chunk and I was like, I can't leave my car on the street. A, because of the weather elements, and B, because of the human elements.
Literally.
But no, that's why I live kind of like not in the cool part of DC. Like I live like suburban.
Yeah. Like, I get it. I definitely understand because yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
I'm not well, we did have on 4th of July somebody like broke into there's like outside parking in front of my building and then there's underground, and somebody in the on top parking stole tires from all like a bunch of cars, and I texted Ava, who's like my car consultant, and I'm like, it didn't happen to my car, but like what would you do in that situation?
Do you have wheel locks?
No.
Apparently that's a thing, but apparently that only saves you a few minutes. But
I'm also just like, what do you do if you go up to your car and there are no tires?
I don't know, dude. I guess you call it the
You're supposed to, you have to get towed or whatever. But then Ava said the right answer where she was like, I would just cry.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, I would definitely do that. And then I would go back to my apartment.
That might be a AAA situation. Because I feel like if you don't have tires and you still have your like catalytic converter, which you might not. But if you do, because your car is still drivable, you just need new tires.
Well, so that's the issue. It's like if it's been tireless for too long,
it won't. It messes up the shocks,
axle
right? Or your axles.
Yeah, you'll be especially if it's not all four.
Oh my god, that's so
crazy.
Fucked.
And you only have one spare tire,
right? But AAA, they got it all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You really do probably have to get towed to like an auto body shop.
Yeah, or to like the dealership or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Absolutely terrible.
I'm not made for this car world.
Yeah. I'm not either. And I'm not made for public transportation either.
It's just too much responsibility.
No joke, it really is. It's a lot.
So much work.
And it's so expensive. Like it's just a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I personally think it's very important to have a local enemy.
Agreed.
Do you have any?
I haven't been in my new neighborhood long enough. I mean, I did in LA have a local enemy, aka my building manager.
Oh yeah.
Who I would see every time I would
Big K, special K.
Big K. Every time I would like pull out of the garage, I would always see her walking her dog, and I would like try to duck a little bit. The worst.
I do think it's important to have a local enemy because it's like Dinkelberg. Like you have to have like somebody that you can just defer
all blame to.
Yeah, exactly. Because it just makes your life a little easier to be like, you know, if that motherfucker wasn't around, this wouldn't be happening.
And it's a community builder. Like there's something so precious about coming together with people to communally hate on somebody else.
Oh yeah, I love a local enemy. Like a true local enemy. An enemy in common.
Like Big K was like really detested by the area.
Yeah, and she was the Trunchbull of the building.
It was incredible to be in the elevator because you always had like conversation with the next person. You're like oh yeah, you saw that email today?
Bitch.
Like yeah. Even like the Hector, our like handyman.
Oh yeah,
hated her too.
Right. I mean, like, no one.
Once I told him I spoke a little Spanish, then it was like unleashed the gossip. And
right.
I was like, fuck yes.
In Spanish.
Yeah, because I first, he like really didn't speak a lot.
I didn't know your Spanish skills were that good.
They weren't that good. I was like, no, I meant like a little bit of Spanish.
So he made your Spanish better.
I mean, I was just like, yeah.
You understood enough to know that you had an enemy in common.
That we had, yeah.
And you know what? I think it's all body language.
It really is.
If you have an enemy and you have a friend that you make through this common enemy,
you don't need to speak.
You don't need to speak.
You just need the eyes.
It's all about eye rules. It's all about big size. It's all about freaking hiding. It's all about the head shake. That head shake. And the
crossing
fist.
The street.
The freaking Arthur fist where you're just like.
But who's your local enemy?
Oh, the guy in my neighborhood that owns a Cybertruck.
And why does he own that?
Oh, first of all, that's a wonderful question. Secondly, why do you have the money for a Cybertruck, but you don't have the money to install a charger in your house?
That's a very fair point.
It is literally messing up the ebbs and flows of everybody else that has a Tesla. In the neighborhood.
Because it takes longer to charge the truck.
Longer to charge. It sucks all of the energy out of the whole charging station to the point where it literally could take hours for you to charge your car while he's charging.
That's crazy. I didn't know that it was. I assumed they were all kind of like baseline the same.
Same. But no, they're not. But I should have known. Like, think about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to energetically provide more
for his
to
trucks,
the owner of the Cybertruck. It's $100,000 car. Like, you're going to allow them to charge up faster.
That's true.
And it's going to literally be an energy suck because it is unnecessarily huge. Do I ever see somebody with a Cybertruck carrying material?
No.
For a job site? No.
Or like bringing groceries to elderly people?
Doing anything with the enormous trunk space that you have. And that would be the only logical reason to have a Cybertruck aside from being a douche.
I saw this TikTok that was like, this mom who had bought a Cybertruck with the family. She's like, I love this Cybertruck for my kids because they can like put all their magnets on the car because it's magnetic. And somebody was like showing their Honda being like, every car is.
It's metal,
like,
bitch.
If that's the reason you like this car, like doesn't mean it's not brushed steel
and it's not
or whatever.
Like your kids can run around like they're in a freaking playpen in the truck while it's operational.
But also like, that's the activity you have for your kids, putting magnets on the car. Go do that on the fridge or like get them a piece of metal.
Get them a goddamn iPad. If you're going to be an iPad kid by having a Tesla, you may as well get your kid iPads in the back.
Very true.
You're already going there. Sorry.
No, the Cybertruck is literally ridiculous.
Sometimes when I get a ride to the chiropractor and we're using the Tesla, we're putting Dancing Fruit on the TV in the Tesla. And I can't say how clutch it is because my son is a car screamer. As soon as the car is not moving,
wow,
he's a screamer. And there's a theory. It's called when your car locked. And they say that when your kid is in the car and actually has fallen asleep, and you're not willing to get out of the car so that they can sleep continually, so your car locked. You're trapped in the car for the remainder of their nap. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there, but. Yeah, I also think there's like a flaw with Teslas. I recently found out that I'm an idiot and the more luxury version does have this feature.
Okay.
I was like, why do cars not have massage functions?
I was also wondering that when I saw you put the topics. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, it's fancy enough. Like, why wouldn't you just add massage? Like,
it should at least be an upgrade I can make to my
And does
car.
That exist on the more luxe versions?
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently. I haven't fact checked it, but my man said so.
Interesting. I've been in a car before that has like little fans near the headrest.
Oh, I haven't experienced that.
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, super luxe.
I love that. It's like a neck fan.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it can be heat or cold,
No way. Yeah. I do love that.
But the massage feature could be nice.
Like, come on, bro. If my nail salon can have a massage chair, my luxury vehicle should have one.
People who don't take advantage of the massage feature at the salon, I'm like, what are you doing? It's free.
Like, just use it.
It's free.
Even in the really shitty ones that you barely feel anything but a vibration, I still use it.
I still do it. That's the first thing I do when I sit down.
Exactly.
I'm like, let's put this massage on. Like,
and then there's also people who are like, I forgot. How do you forget?
My sister doesn't use it.
What else are you doing with your hands?
She's watching TV.
On her phone?
Yeah.
All right.
That's her go-to move. Which
I would like to do that. I've never done it before.
I've never done it. I don't have the like confidence to do that.
I mean, she has headphones on.
Yeah. She like walks in, puts in her headphones. Is like, but
she just checks out.
Yeah.
I mean, I check out, but I also need to be semi-present.
I'm constantly staring. I'm like, I need to see. Not because I don't trust. I'm just, I want to see this be done.
You're literally a nightmare client. They're like, you're like watching over them with a bird's eye view.
And I'm usually like baked, just being like.
Oh, I'm always baked.
I'm just zooted watching them do this.
There's never a time I'm at the nail salon sober. Ever, ever, ever. I'm tweaking off the bean. I'm definitely coffee jittered up, and I'm equally as high.
I did have a really unfortunate experience though recently at the nail salon. I was like, oh, I can walk there, but it's DC in the summer. It was like 1.5 miles. I was like, oh, not that far of a walk, like whatever, because in New York it's not.
Really, my toes will dry on the way home.
And I got there and I was drenched. I was like,
hate that.
I'm so sorry that I'm sitting in your chair and I'm like wet.
No, I hate
and
that.
Like I was leaking from my face and I was like, I can't do this. I'm so sorry.
Like I would go rinse off in the bathroom.
Yeah,
first.
I went to the bathroom to like pat my. I was like, I wasn't doing feet though. I was just doing my hands.
Okay.
But I was like, your face is close to my face and you can see that I'm leaking.
You're looking at my pores,
Like,
and you're
I'm
watching
sorry.
the sweat come out.
I'm very sorry.
No, I actually recently, I power walked also to the nail salon the other day and was sweating upon arrival.
And I feel bad.
No, me too. I feel bad, and I'm also just so embarrassed. Like, there's no way.
And the more you start thinking about it, the more you sweat. Like,
Yes, exactly.
You're just like heating yourself up more by like getting nervous.
By stewing on it.
Yeah, so.
Really, I would have stopped sweating 5 minutes ago if I wasn't so concerned about how much I'm sweating.
Yep.
You gotta love that, like arriving somewhere and actually not sweating much during the walk, but like when you arrive for some reason, you can't stop sweating.
It's like the elevator there or like.
Exactly.
It's all, yeah.
I hate that.
It's the constant sweat. The more I get old, the more I start thinking about wanting to get the Botox that makes you stop sweating.
I want that.
Because
I've wanted it for many years.
Yeah, but I was always like, oh, I don't need it. And I'm like, no, I need it.
You're like, some things are medically necessary.
Like wearing shirts that aren't dark colors?
I don't know what that's like. Never heard of it. Okay. You brought up something that you saw on Reddit that I am baffled, but I've never heard of this.
Like I was speechless. Okay, so I was on Reddit and I saw somebody post. They were like, I just picked up this 8-gram cart. Do we think it's real?
Like, let's just talk about the fact that having 8 grams of concentrate on you is like a felony. In a lot of states.
I'm like,
yo, do we think it's real? What?
That's what the comments were on Reddit. They were like, real of a brand? Like, clearly somebody made it. Like, yes, it's real in your hand.
Yeah. Is the concentrate real? Very questionable.
It's probably like 1 gram distillate, 7 grams solvent stuff.
Yeah. Fucking
terps. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, what was it? NCT oil. And then,
oh my God, I don't think you can smoke coconut oil. Don't even say that.
But they used to do that.
No, they put vegetable glycerin.
Yes, glycerin. VG. Yeah. So weird. But yeah, all the comments were like, compliant? Definitely not.
No. No.
Real?
Felony. Yes.
But then a bunch of people were like, I want this.
I can't imagine having anything larger than a gram tasting good. Because it's like you're just burning.
I've seen 2 grams.
All right, so I have seen 2 grams as well. Do I sport them? No.
No.
No, I can't.
Like,
I can't support.
What I've seen recently from the brand that I have here, where it's like a dual vape. So 1 gram on one side, 1 gram on the other side.
Oh, I'm with that. That actually sounds cool.
It's a duo, so you can have like an indica and sativa.
Okay, so you just literally press the button for what side you want to hit?
Yeah, there's like some weird, like I think you switch the like.
That's actually
opening.
sick. And that does not hold up in my scientific reason.
No, yeah, right? That's 2 grams of a device. It is not in 1 cart. 1 gram was questionable at the time.
Correct.
Let's take it back to 2016 again.
But think about this. You have a fryer and you're making French fries.
Yeah.
The first batch.
I'm doing that regularly, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Speak my
language.
You
know this very well. Exactly. Let me make this easy for you to understand. So you take the first batch.
Yeah.
Crispy, delicious, clean.
Yeah.
The second and third batches are getting the oil's getting darker.
The fries are getting darker.
The fries are getting darker. You're losing a couple nugs along the way in there.
There's some burnt bits.
Exactly. And the more you use that oil, the more unusable it becomes. And I think that's the same situation with vapes.
100%.
I'm saying don't ever go larger than a gram because you're smoking the product of your own usage.
Yeah, you're like, it's already been combusted.
Exactly. And then that also questions
And I've noticed that with
safety.
other vapes, like where it'll get darker by the end.
Yes.
Because you're probably heating it too high. Mm-hmm. So you're burning it. First of all, you're not vaping. And also, something's up.
I gotta be honest, when concentrate in a vape first came out, do you remember how dark the oils were? I'm talking
tar.
Literally tar.
I've had some where I was like, is this weed?
I literally have been in the same place before.
Like, where it was basically hashish.
In a vape.
It was
the color of hashish, 100%.
And it was like
and gritty.
And like
it was like,
and it tasted not like it tastes today.
You know it's bad when like you'd rather smoke like a slab of shatter.
Literally.
And that looks less threatening than what's in a vape.
like some of these vapes, and then it went the whole other direction.
Yes.
Then you got like clear
Yes,
vapes.
you remember tree-based clear? What was it called? Tree. There was a cartridge brand that was known for being clear. And it wasn't the clear. It was another brand.
I know. I think I don't remember what their name was, but I remember seeing them.
It was something that started with the word tree, and their logo was like a literal tree, like you would see in a park. And tree-based clear, I think it was. There
was also like Honest or something like that.
I don't remember that. See, it was a crazy game back then.
It really was.
Yeah, like New York, not compliant, not only are you getting items made by the community there, you're getting fakes of California stuff.
That was the big one. It was all the fake
Kingpens and
what's their other brand?
Heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters.
I don't know if it's the same brand, but I think they might be distributed under the same
back there.
I didn't hear you. Yep. Okay.
So people used to say half gram was the best one to get.
I still think that.
Agreed. It's just more expensive and more like hardware if you're getting it all in one.
You can get away with a gram. I will say that.
But usually you're not going to get your full gram. Like by 0.8, yes, it'll be like gross and goopy.
I also think if you're smoking a hash rosin vape, the maximum is 0.5.
Yeah,
it should be, because after 0.5 it gets disgusting.
And it becomes unusable. Like you get it on your teeth and mouth. Like it starts like
leaking. Yep. And that, because the consistency of the oil changes inside. So it's not meant for the vaporizer
It's like when you're
anymore.
Dabbing a bunch of times without cleaning the banger.
Rig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you're just accumulating more
carcinogens. Yeah. Essentially.
So 8 grams, wouldn't recommend personally.
And no, it's not real.
And if you do try it, please let us know.
But the felony of it all, that will be real. So just make sure, just avoid the 8-gram vapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe find a new plug if that's what they're providing.
100%. One last topic before we call it quits for today. Yeah. I wanted to talk about the enemy that we truly do have in common. Eric Adams. Ugh. It always comes back to him. It always comes back to you. If Eric Adams has no haters, I am dead. Okay?
Even my mom, who, first of all, cannot vote.
Oh, yeah.
She's always like, Eric.
What does that mean? Like, Eric.
She's like, we need to contact him. Because, like, she takes the train every day.
Yes.
And 168th is, like, we've already talked about this, but, like, it is a notoriously hot platform because it's one of the deepest in the city. Like, all the ones that are uptown and then go to the Bronx, they're like super in the rock. Mm-hmm. So you have to take an elevator and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy and so hot, and fuck Eric Adams.
Oh, agreed. But the number one thing, I am not quite understanding this new, red light cameras, hate them.
Oh my God. I hope you're going to say what I think you're going to say.
Bus cameras.
Yes.
Have you heard?
I don't know.
Buses are now.
Yes.
If you're in a bus lane.
Oh, I did hear about this where you can get the ticket.
You can get a ticket.
And you're not even going to get told. It's just going to come in the mail.
I mean, how else will they tell you?
Like you see a flash or something.
Oh, there's no flash.
No, like you'll get it in the mail. Like, oh, I guess I was in a bus lane that one time.
Not only if you're in a bus lane. If you're the question is this out of their jurisdiction? Because the MTA will freaking ticket you if you're beside the bus lane, double parked.
Oh, like I see what you're saying.
If you're double parked next to a bus lane.
But is that even allowed?
What does it matter to you? Stay in your lane. Literally.
But also, like, at what point does it become... Since when did MTA become narcs is the real question.
And, I mean, a long time. They became narcs when they started hiding officers in hidden doors in the subway platforms.
Yeah.
Safer? Guess it really depends, but...
Who you ask, yeah.
Yeah, but...
Because there are so many cops now on the subway, and I've got to say, I feel less safe when I see them.
You already know I feel the same way. But on top of that, what gives you the right to essentially be a meter maid?
Yeah, when did you become the DMV?
When did you become the DMV? When did you become the NYPD? And why are you asking me for more money?
And
I'm not even using your service.
So weird. But I did...
It's like, who Like, the city funds the MTA.
Yeah, partially.
Not only is it not free, but it's a semi-private institution.
Yeah, so they can get investors.
They can get investors, and they do, and someone's profiting off of the MTA. I don't know who they are, and I haven't researched this.
But we will get to the bottom of this.
But now you're ticketing New Yorkers who aren't using your service, and then to know, even paused, that you're considering taxing people in their cars driving and not taking the MTA.
Which is extremely like, I do not support that policy at all.
I don't support any of this shit.
And it's paused for now, and I'm worried as to when it will be unpaused.
Me too, and I don't think it should ever be unpaused.
No, exactly. I would just rather it be not paused and canceled.
Yes. I think that's what should happen.
On hold stuff, that kind of freaks me out.
Same, because then they bring it out when it's convenient to them.
Exactly. But
when the city needs more money.
Exactly. But I did see on TikTok all these, like, again, like New York transplants, whatever, being like, did you know you could get your photo taken in New York at these streetlights? And I'm like, you mean traffic cameras?
Wait, what do you mean your photo taken? Where do they send it?
You can, like, go, okay, there's these,
I'm starting to freak out. What are they watching?
There's, like, cameras everywhere in New York.
And it's constantly recording?
Constantly.
That has to be against our rights.
I mean, yeah, but that is... like,
because it's not...
A lot of major cities have done this.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people who own the red light cameras are private companies.
No, and that's where... And so...
And that's where our constitutional rights come into question.
All these people think it's, like, funny to get your photo taken, and I'm like, yeah, we live in a police state. That's cool.
Correct. Like, we suddenly have CCTV, but, like, privately owned companies.
Yeah. But in DC, also, there's cameras everywhere, which is different because it is federal property, and, like...
Okay.
Most of the places,
yeah, that does change things.
I'm like, most of the places you're going to, like, in downtown DC are, like, owned by the government. So whatever.
Exactly.
Like, that is just, like,
they inherently have a different kind of protection.
Yeah, like, you know, you're walking into an area where you are being observed.
Of course.
But that's whatever. Like, there's not, like, near my house, like, in the street.
Right. Like, we're talking about at the capital of the country.
Yeah. Like
that's a little bit different, you know?
And there have been, you know, issues.
And I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about,
no, this is like
regular cameras. I'm talking about traffic cameras.
This is like Madison Square Park, you know, like Flatiron area, like
it's
things
everywhere. It's in Staten Island. There's red light cameras everywhere.
Isn't it crazy?
And it's like,
but red light cameras,
I get the idea,
film
right?
Continuously. I think they flash.
I think that's the question. Do they?
Okay, does anybody know if the traffic cameras are continuous?
Well, no, this is actually a question.
Yeah.
Like, the public doesn't know the answer to this yet.
Oh, people don't even know either?
No.
Oh, I'm curious, because I'm curious.
And these are privately owned companies that the city allowed them to build and isn't profiting off of.
And this is...
The bills that come in, we don't pay it to the city.
No.
We pay it to the owner of the red light cameras.
Isn't that crazy?
So why? And how are they allowed to install those there?
And that's, like, what I'm doing in school a lot of research on is, like, what are the oversight systems in place right now? Like, I'm not against third-party contracting. Like, I don't believe that the government has the time and resources and efficiency to control everything.
It's also nice for companies to be able to thrive.
Like,
it really is.
Private-public partnerships, but, like, what is the oversight situation? Because we're seeing more and more situations of breaches and, like, not even traffic light, but in other realms of contracting with the government where we don't know what they're doing. We don't know how they're practicing what they're doing.
And where does, like, liability come in, right?
Yeah, and who is checking on this?
Exactly. So for breaches, for example, is there ever going to be a class action lawsuit where it's the people of New York, you know, who are on camera against their will,
against their knowledge,
against their constitutional rights?
Like, I'm down if you're, like, I will say yes if you ask me.
Right.
But you did not ask me.
I never opted in.
But, like, I'm not against it if you, like, show me, you know, reason why you need to do this. Like, I don't believe any of us have privacy anymore. Like, this concept, we don't. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, holding on to anything. Like, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Like, you want to find me, you'll find me. Right. But it's just... You didn't tell me.
You didn't tell me, and it's also... Who gave you the right? You're using it again. You're using it to weaponize me. Yeah. Already, and like the weaponization is being, like, rebranded as safety, right?
Which, like,
okay, it's a school zone, so we're putting a red light camera there. So, like, you know, if someone's speeding or if you're just walking by there,
exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm all for
I'm not damaging safety.
If you show me the numbers that putting a red light camera reduces XYZ number of incidents in front of schools, like whatever, I am with you.
Exactly.
Like protect.
It's about the profit here. I think
but
that's
it's like, you're not telling me why you're doing this. You're not showing me how it's helpful.
Yep.
You've just done it.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
and you didn't even give any education about it. You just said you're going to be paid. You're going to be paying. I'm
really excited for 2025 local elections. Like it'll be new mayor, and I'm really curious at what kind of conversations are going to be had. It could not come any sooner. Like literally, it needs to come sooner. And New York needs a good candidate. I gotta say, we really, and I'm curious how people are gonna show up like that. Like, I want to see people have these conversations and talk about these things and educate. Like, it's not. And now we're announcing our 2025 election. We're candidates as co-counsel. That would be crazy. The new slogan for New York: not for nothing. Which they should Leaving Brooklyn, not for nothing. Oh my God. But no, it's it'll be interesting, and you know, you got to protect New Yorkers. That's right. With that said, vote for us 2025. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next Tuesday. See you soon.